Cancer, what's good? I'm your Mile High Priest. I'm up here on Jupiter's day. We are at the top of Mars's hour. What's good? Actually, we are going from Jupiter into the Mars hour. Jupiter currently is in Gemini, Mars currently retrograde in the sign of Cancer. Thank you so much, Cancer. I honor you. I honor you. I honor your time, your attention. Thank you so much. I'm ever so grateful for our energetic connection. As always, I am ever so honored by your discernible presence, the intelligent ways about you. Thank you for being here once again. I do read for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as the nodes. You could very well have a North node in Cancer. You could very well have a Venus in Scorpio. Lately getting a lot of that, and I'm not even kidding. I was doing the shuffle and this lovely card. Whoops. I'm like, I don't know what I could show. Like, you might be a millennial. You might be a sour millennial. You might be a Libra. You might have a moon in Cancer. Thank you for being here. I honor you. Once again, this is your message for the upcoming new moon in Aquarius. When we just passed the Pluto Cazimi with the sun, those two were hanging out very, very near each other. Thank you for being here again. And if it resonates along the way, hit like. If you'd like to support me and the growth of the channel, hit the thumbs up. Feel free to share this message with anyone that you think may enjoy it. Leave me a comment. Courage is here again. Strength, Leo. That was in the previous message. Just a few anecdotes or like this monologue about me. I was getting a lot of, because of the nodal shift, and Mars retrograde in Cancer. This is just like a wild experience. Not to mention all the other happenings this year with the turnover of the planets, from a lot of them moving from Pisces, like Saturn, Neptune, into Aries. And those are big deals. Uranus will also move into, I believe, Gemini at the end of the year. And I believe Jupiter will also finish their transit through Gemini. So these big, bad boys and girls are moving into, they're moving. It's quite a year. I wanted to, before I get too into it, there was I believe Gareth Hudson Tarot, he's like a Capricorn, handsome Capricorn fella. I think he made a collective reading where he describes it really well, in makes a parallel assumption with dragon's blood and sage, which is like quite an interesting combination. It's really good to smudge, and I suppose you can find it in many other mediums or whatever. Anyway, or styles like oils and whatnot. Anyway, they were mentioning that flip, which is big. It's a huge deal for Mars to be retrograde in Cancer. It is as if the way that Gareth describes dragon's blood, sage is the masculine softening, the feminine approach, and more likely by assuming a protective guard so that the divine feminine can ease. And it's simple, and it's kind of easy to digest that, but it is a process that we are undergoing for the next 2.5 months. So Cancer, for you, does involve the way you approach intimacy, because a lot of this falls in your Scorpio house, and especially or specifically, my horoscopes are designed for your rising sign. But I bring up all the other aspects as well, as Mars, Venus, the nodes. I work with the nodes because I am an evolutionary astrologer amongst everything else I do. I'm cute too, right? I was gonna tell you, like, I like that guy Gareth. I don't like guys, and then I'm like, I don't like girls. I don't like anyone. I don't like anyone. You'll know when I like you, and that is funny, because my Mars is in Scorpio, and I feel like that is what I mean. The reason I'm telling you this is because I realized that, like, in all the 40 years of my life, and I was even going back. This is part of me telling you my stories. I was even going back to when I was a 7-year-old, and then when I was a middle schooler in the U.S., and I'm sure in many other countries and regions. Like, we have many transitional periods in our youth, right? Especially aligned with schooling. And I remember second grade was so pivotal, because I was going on to a new school, but even in the same school, I had been in the Spanish only. Like, I was a Spanish speaker, and then I learned how to speak English and read and write. And so I was like ushered, like kind of pushed into all these like advanced kind of like. Also, I grew up in a predominantly Hispanic, like Spanish speaking part of Texas, and like back excuse me, back in those days, we did not, I guess there was no real law against like daycares being Spanish only. Anyway, once I got into school, it was like my whole world flipped. And then when I chose to move away from my home school, and I attended these more like liberal arts schools, and it was such a trip. And I remember I was so angsty, and I was only like 11 years old. And I'm like, why do I feel the need to tell Cancer about all these stories? And then fast forward again to like, my transition from college into like post-college, like the real world. Like, it was such an angsty time. And I can go back in like 16, 18 year periods of time. A lot of it is like how I approach my angst, what angst means to me, angst being a reactionary effect or action. And now my angst is more cold in this arena. And so it's like, I wonder what it means for me as far as like, when I like you, what does that mean? My approach used to be like, so I don't like anyone, but if I like you, the person that I'm like into, like, they know I'm into this is so crazy that I'm telling you this, but I'm feeling this retrograde, and I'm like, it's really on right now. Like, I can really see how I've acted and how I take that kind of approach. And now I'm taking accountability, and more so in a way that I'm noticing like, wow, like, and how I can flip my Mars in Scorpio, which is very like, go get it. And now what does that mean for me? For you, Cancer, I'm like, someone's coming to get you. Wow, sacred union. Yeah, I think for you it's job related. I do have a lot of Mars in Aries. I have the power mystic oracle card, and then I have care, like Mars and your sign, the sign of Cancer. What else can I brief you on? A lot of past life relationship stuff. So you're likely leaving relationships, but in a way you're like attracting an established regard for like your public appearance, which is so like it's all out there. And like, so you have this emperor, empress push and pull, and then someone or you or someone wants to like help you with money or like a loan or something like that. Anyway, we'll get into it. Thank you for being here. It's very much in the air. Like the vibration is there. If you want to believe it, it's a great time to manifest by promoting manifestation techniques, which are very delulu, you know? But if you're the empress, it's less delulu. It's more like, how do I react? How do I act? How do I feel? How do I do it? How do I allow others to do it? How do I go get it? How do I let things come to me? How do I assert my independence? How do I assert my codependence in a healthy manner? I think for you right now, it's less being in a codependent relationship. Not saying that you are, not saying that you want that. What I'm saying is like codependency is likely a meter right now that you're tending to, and more so like the healthy amount of dependency on a contractual type of relationship that involves money. Maybe because you've left a lot of jobs and you're like climbing or being promoted, and action towards money becomes like different. It's different. You're different. You're same but different, and it's taking courage for you to step up into this like undoing, but then this recoiling of this like refined Cancer, and it is not refined in the same way. It's refined in a new arena, in a new space. It's a new brilliant time for you, and if you haven't arrived, you will. Cancer, you're getting there. For those cancers, if this makes you feel any better, there even the cancers that have made it to their, current desired destination, like they're still, their spiritual bodies are like, well, we were still doing work over here. Like, let us catch up to you now. You're so fast, Cancer. You're a go-getter. You get it. You really do. And now it turns simple for you. Like, your belief is a way of manifestation instead of having to pour in just having to pour in all your care, all your love. Like, no more. We don't do that. We don't do that, Cancer. Shorty, I'm only tell this once. I'm only gonna tell you this once. You're the illest, okay? It's quite a challenge. I do regard that. I am not saying what? Look, this is what I'm saying for the Empress. Ease into it. Look at all those things that I told you. Romanticize your life. Why not? It does involve acceptance. It does involve independence. Because sometimes that guy or that gal or that person or that they, them will not be able to supply this. You know what I've realized is a lot of people, especially millennials, they don't really know this. They're like, want to go watch a movie? No. I don't like the actors. I don't like the film. Look, some of it, maybe what I miss for you too is like, how are you talking to yourself, Cancer? You're like you're it. You're like at the top right now. Even if you're not at the top, like you are top material. You are top 3 material. Screw top 8. Y'all, what are these like things? I'm like, who remembers that? Fine and great, dude. Look, I used to say put a love spell on yourself, but I think that makes people like upset. Because it's like fun, creativity, like if you are feeling like a challenge in your romantic life, I say why not fall in love with yourself? I feel that romantic life right now needs a lot of readdress, like refurnish the romantic department. Have more fun, bring more joy to you. If we're looking at the Leo department, like that's your worth. How are you talking to yourself? How are you? Did you not hear me earlier where I just slipped in this comment about like how I'm cute? Like, I feel like you need to be like, by the way, do you realize how cute I am? That should be a part of your conversation, Cancer. And I'm asking you to break out of like a seriousness that is involved in that Saturn way. Maybe it's in the seriousness where it has it's the seriousness that has mistaken you for a lust divine. And this could come from like your partner, your previous partner, right? Like having to leave that behind, finding creative ways to break yourself out of that spell of like, oh, my partner was a serious person, or like I had to be a serious person to take care of like my father. Like I could see like the last 2 decades, Cancer perhaps was involved in you taking care of your family. Even if you're younger, you had to be there for someone. And I said your father. I said, Cancer, you likely had to be there for your father. And it was likely for a good freaking reason. Like when we're there for our parents, like that's a good reason. Like it's likely like you feel stuck, but like there's likely like this good that comes from you. And so in a way, I feel like that was a challenge, is now you can move away from it. And then you couldn't. And I don't know why you couldn't. I'm not saying you actually couldn't, but I'm saying like it may have felt like you couldn't, and now it feels like you can. And I am reassuring you, and I'm providing all of that. Perhaps the most awkward way, the most radical way to accept this is to go about it in a loving, creative manner where you're like, I'm still cute. What's good, Cancer? You're still hella cute, right? Wow, we have card 34. I'm gonna put it back because I just want a good one. Thank you to our angels and spiritual guides of the highest level. Thank you to our wise ancient ancestors. I call upon the beings that love me, right? Thank you so much. In unconditional love, may we receive divine clear messages for the Cancer Sun Moon Rising Collective. Thank you so much as we establish connection with the elemental kingdoms, Earth, Air, Fire, Water, Holy Spirit. Thank you so much. Mercury, clear divine messages. Okay, yeah, this is the energy I was picking up. Like card number 22. Y'all, who is doing this stuff to you? Wow. Okay. Do y'all know someone is doing outside influences that are not under your control bring change? Okay, it may be just Saturn. Can I just say it's Saturn? It might not be anybody doing spells, but if someone is doing evil eye on you, you know what to do, right? Purify. This could be someone, an adept at witchcraft or magic, someone you must be careful around, a jealous person who casts the evil eye, someone employed to achieve a certain purpose. Your advice is to consult an expert on removal of the evil eye. Okay, but like, can I reassure you that I was going to read to you the inverted? The influence of a spell, magic, or the evil eye has been removed. Okay. Venus and Scorpio, you better watch out. Also, North Node in Cancer, I think that a lot of that spell has been broken, and it wasn't a spell or evil eye on you by a particular person. It was by a societal kind of conditioning. Okay, it was inverted. I did just want to rush in and read to you the actual situation, but the inverted attribute is that it has been removed. The blocks have been removed, so the effects are weakening. Give it about 2 months for you to successfully feel so refreshed, back to cute. The gates to success are reopening, an increased level of energy. You are entering a period of success. Okay. Wow, that's so crazy that the spell card was here. Okay. Look, it's like you broke the spell by getting into the Queen of Wands moment, and that's why I feel like it wasn't a spell done on you. It was like a systemic kind of worldly condition. You're no longer like in a wishful mentality. You're in a more how will I address this, and how will I access it, how will I receive it, instead of how will you go get it, right? How will you receive it? There could have been someone around you though that has left a space that was very controlling, okay? Very dominant. But you are like single, you're out of that mode of operandus, okay? And maybe the person that you were dealing with has realized this, okay? I don't know. Cancer, don't forget to hit like. Have the Cosmic Tarot. I believe their name is Norbert Loesch, Germanic. This is for actually your situation. It is about relationships. You're getting rest. You're feeling better. Yes. Success is coming. Okay. The situation. Thank you. One more, Spirit. Thank you. Cleared on messages. Okay. Aries. I'm the Hermit. So you are coming out of this, right? And you've gained clarity, you've gained your power back. It's a stillness, in your reserved femininity and your reserved masculinity, no matter your gender. This is a romantic period of time for you where you can readdress how you do feel by the way that you look, the way you actually physically feel, your surroundings. All of this can be very holistic in a manner in which it doesn't have to be about vanity, but it can be about self-care, and it can be about your approach to your care for your body. Ace of Cups, Scorpio, once again. And it's more about releasing, so purifying what will allow the romantic vision to surface and then also grow. Okay, not only is it enough, can you actually plant it? Can it actually then be watered, cared for, grown, tended to? Can we back it up a minute? Was the land ready? Okay, was it tilled and fed nutrients. Okay, all that is here. Your promise. I promise. You're coming out of that mentality of, it was brought on by world matters, brought on by societal. You care a lot. I know you do. I know you care. Even in your family, even your father and your mother are like aspects of society. You are that intelligent emotionally. You know that you understand an archetypal vision like the father and what it means when your father is the symbol of many aspects of masculinity and then other aspects of femininity in our society, in our local and kind of a global sense. You're feeling left out, you're feeling unattained, unattainable, but now in the being left out, in the being pushed out, in the being cast out, in the being left alone, your choices became clear that the choice was you, has always been you, and it's always been, look at how freaking, look at all that you have done, Cancer. You have done a lot. And no one can say so otherwise, okay? No one can say otherwise. No one can say so without admitting that doing as much as you have done comes with true hard work, okay? And now it's like, let my Cancer go. Okay, you'll be able to like burst out. Was that not the truth? I love it when it's the truth, right? We do love a good truth. You are like in your domain. You're like a brand new. You're brand new. Okay, you're brand new. You're different. It's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay if you're brand new, as long as you haven't forgotten, right? Let's see, you do have balance as well. That's like brilliant. It's justice, it's equilibrium. It's attraction and repulsion. So now, clarity in the mind, right? By determining what you really want anyway. Relative justice, fallible and limited, which comes from man, okay? So something is being given to you. Remember then, Cancer, collective, that to be victorious over thyself and dominate obstacles is but a part of a human task. To accomplish it entirely, thou must establish equilibrium between the forces that thou hast brought into play. All action produces reaction. The will should foresee the shock of opposite forces in order to temper annul them. If the balance should appear in the prophetic signs of thy horoscope today, Cancer, it signifies that the future is balance between good and evil, and warns that an unbalanced mind is like an abortive sun. Okay, so now we clear away the mind. We got to take a little bit of rest. So many choices, mostly leaving you feeling left out. So it's like, are those real choices? Usually, likely, if you feel left out, no. I think you determine what makes you feel left out, because that makes you feel that you've seen good versus evil, and you're like, oh, no more evil. You're the alchemist, right? Here we are. Here we have the Hermit, Virgo, and then we have Aries. The number 8 is signified by Capricorn in the Egyptian numbers, and so is justice, okay? Very Capricornian, but we also have Libra. Then we also have 5 of discs, or 5 of coins and 7 of cups, so you know what that means. Being left out. The feeling of being left out. The feeling of having to save up. The feeling of, am I going to have to work harder for not that much? Well, now all of that's, we're over it. We've gone beyond it. We're out of that. We're leaving that. A lot of it now is just clear the mind, because You're not in this landscape anymore. You're not missing. You're not missing out anymore. When we have the sage, the wise, our prudence, director of the will, right? The guide of actions. Nothing is indifferent here below. A pebble can overturn the chariot of the master of the world. If Arcanum 9 should appear in the prophetic signs of life's horoscope, keep in mind that speech is silver and silence is gold. There's your spell. Silence is gold. Wow. Okay, Cancer, I don't know. You're like, they're definitely securing something. It's in the bag. We won't tell anybody. What's the challenge? Here, I'll use the Cosmic Tarot. Oh. The challenge is your higher self. The challenge is keeping quiet. But don't worry, you are beating the odds in the competition. Likely that a Scorpio masculine is seeing you as this could be your boss, or whoever is your supervisor, right? Like your, let me just not talk. Wow, death. Talk about it. Scorpio, Aries, very soon here, in like 2 months or so. Things are generating, things, or maybe from now until then is the challenge. But it's like something is arising, and it's like, yeah, you don't want to talk about it. Okay. Check out these cards. This is your challenge, this is your transformation. It's like understanding that you will win, that your treasure, your payout, your payment. 10 of Cups. Okay, it could also be about a relationship, and it could be about coming together, but it could also be about breaking away from the old temptations, the old, like, the fantasy that used to tempt you. Maybe it's like what I was saying earlier, is like you're not going to do it the same anymore, because that's kind of the death card, is like, do you want to do things the same, and more so, do you want to come into it by believing that you're going to do the same thing and arrive at the same treasure and arrive at the same payout? Like, you can't keep doing the same thing now that you know that what you've been doing or what you've been participating in leads to this, like, ruining. None of that, no more of that. We have Mars in Pisces, so you're leaving a lot of those types of relationships out. You're no longer recommitting and cycling through these types of conditional relationships that are like, I'm only here, like you're only there for the good time, or like, or hey, this was just a trial, or something. I don't know. Like, some kind of way of thinking of like, this is the way to go about it. I don't know why I talk a lot about, like, I have been talking about it, like, going the way you go about it, and Mars is very present here. So it is like the way you go about things. The High Priestess, wow, okay. These cards are so dope. Wow, how did we know? Virgo, Pisces, right? Could very well be the nodes, or like, maybe also showing you the possibility of what fantasies you can actually make a reality, and maybe also your way of attaining. Maybe now you want to attain something. Maybe not. Maybe now were not the go-getter. Like, as far as like relationships, now you want to be the go-getter, or now you're ready to receive. Like, now you're in this Empress mode, where you were like more, let me go get what I want, which is very Cancer. It's very Aries. And then on the other hand, it could be like, now there's a receptive moment of like, let me feel it out. Let me see what's actually possible. What's the possibility at that point? Seven of Pentacles. Something is like trying to happen. We don't know, right? All together, you have what's trying to come out. Face the truth. So something hidden that you don't want to talk about, right? It's fine. It's fine. It could be a relationship, Cancer. It could be like the promise. The promise. Yeah, I cannot get over this priestess. It's perhaps someone sees now that you've left. That's a challenge. And like, you do want to continue to leave. We have an alpha omega sort of thing happening here. With the 10 of Cups, it is very like alpha omega. But is it possible with the death card? It's like, yeah, it is. But do you want to see the work through it? That's a challenge. Cancer, thank you for being here. We're going to hit the 40-minute mark very soon, but I'm close to wrapping up. Yeah, I know I'm full of just BS, but a lot of what I say has actually happened to me. It has. It all has. Okay. Well, Mars in Capricorn. Like, Mars is just a presence here. If you are uncertain, don't worry. I know what you're working on. And likely I want you to understand that this originates in you understanding that even though you're the best, you're really good at starting and keeping the momentum. There are things out of your hand that were out of your hands that were not in that control. And it was to show you possibly, most likely, how that style of creation was affecting you and what it means to create then to destroy, from that creative sustenance to the destroyer. And then now we do it differently. Now from having destroyed and seen destruction, take the good parts, right? That's challenging to see the good from the bad, to know the truth, good and bad and evil, right? That's quite a challenge. That's like, hold up before you run out. Queen of Cups, Cancer. Before you run out of here, Mars in Capricorn, Scorpio, Pisces, Virgo, Aquarius, Capricorn. Wait, of course they all want to come up. Okay, we'll take those as the origin. Ha! Look at what gate you're at. Okay, I wasn't just telling you to go take a salty bath for no reason. Okay. Look. Is this helping? You've received a lot of confirmation about your work, and it is coming. It was inverted, but that's where I'm at. Is like, I would like for you to understand whether you are creating to sustain, to destroy, or can we start from the angle of look at what has been destroyed. We're not here to blame or to tell who caused destruction. We're here to learn from what happened. There are many things to take away from that. I'm not going to lie, because it leads you to freaking justice. Like a little thing like that. You're like, go down the list of all the times that it could be upsetting, but it's more revealing. It's more revealing than upsetting. It's more telling than upsetting. It's more defying than upsetting. It's more loving. In the end, it's more about acceptance. And it's not about acceptance of anyone else but you, your true, beautiful, lovely, like purposeful self. Where, hey, it could have been a muck. You could have been a millennial. You could be a millennial. That's sort of mucky. It could be worse. It could be worse. You could be a millennial. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I said Scorpio. They want to work with you. This could be you, okay, wanting to work through the affected areas, childhood, especially the father, where the father was absent, usually involved in like, the substance use and overuse. But like really shifting out of that, right? Scorpio, right? Cancer, right? Pisces, okay? Get out of that yard, get out of the funk, come out. You're good at celebrating, but it's like the celebration is more involved in you leaving, hardly with any of that mentality. Six of Swords. My oh my. These cards are like, they're a little bit too much for me, and the density involved is like real. These Morgan-Greer cards. And then, yeah, follow your way out. It does feel like you're leaving with nothing. That's just the feeling right now. The feeling is meant to lead you out. The feeling is meant to then lead you to put a lot of things to rest. And in that clarity and the rest, that's your way out. That's you declaring like you're no longer pretending like you're on your way out and then looping back around. You're like, I'm actually gonna either do what you need to do. What is that? You know what? Or get off the pot. It's that sort of thing. 9 of Swords, 4 of Swords, the Fool. So we have Mars and Gemini. Holy moly, so much Mars. Okay. All your options, all your actions. We gotta haul it for a minute. We have good old Saturn in Libra. No, I'm sorry, Jupiter in Libra, right? Something about relationships. Slow the roll. They're coming. First you. We have Aries, the Fool. But is this the runaround Fool, right? We can't be cycling through that anymore. We have a Moon in Libra. This has been going on since September. Likely for the last year and a half, you're like, I can't keep doing what I was doing since I was like 18, since I was 16 years old. Like I'm 40 whatever years old now, or I'm like mid 30s, and I'm like thinking about my 7th grade and like how just like okay, like that's what I mean. Is like, okay, there are those folks that like look back at their high school and like they're constantly bringing up like what they did in high school. I was thinking like, I like to bring up my accomplishments from like last week. I like my accomplishment this month of getting 18 plus new subscribers. Never mind me graduating at the top of this class or that class, or like Bobby Joe and Suzanne, and, like it's just like, but then all of a sudden I'm like, man, I had a girlfriend when I was in 8th grade. Talk about accomplishment. Okay, like, You gotta get out of that. Like, celebrate by just looking at the accomplishment is the way I see it. Celebrate by looking at it and then like having done, live that, having done, honored that. Look, I've been doing that over and over and over again. Like every time I get angry is like, this happens. Every time I get like upset, like I sabotage. Every time I like get mad at somebody, it's like it's over. And like the wise, prudent one over here, the wise one, the hermit's like, yo, we gotta check that. We gotta stop fantasizing, because you're really good at creating, okay? But do you create to destroy? No. Go from destruction, go from obstruction, go from self-sabotage, go from false starts, go from over and over, go from being labeled like this way. You're the narc, you're the obsessed one, you're addicted, you're obsessive, you're like too much. Go from that to like wisdom, to like whether or not I was. It's like this is a whole new me. So honor that for you, because it's all more so like the gates. Okay. Can we clarify death though? Can we clarify death? Wow. Yeah. Because these are your challenges, right? To me, that points to like false starts. Is it going to work this time? Are you actually going to do it? Also, what I was getting from the Ace of Swords is like, okay, you want it, but like, are you going to want to keep it once you get it? So you know you can get it, but like, do you want to keep it? Do you actually want it? 10 of Cups, right? Clarity on the 10 of Cups. It's almost like you know you want it, but then you're like, no, I'm gonna leave what I want. I don't trust what I want. High Priestess, please. High Priestess is the fear. The High Priestess is the fear. The High Priestess is the spell work. The fear is the spell work. The fear is your emotions causing this like spell work. But we said you were out of this, right? Also, that's a contract. It's like, you know, you're hired. Or you know you want to hire this person. Ooh, wow. Yeah. There's something else going on. The divine speaks now, the Hierophant. Somebody's got to get something together, right? Somebody's got to get the contract together. Someone's got to give up something, and someone's got to actually honor if they want if they're trying to get what they want. If they're like, do you really want it? Do you want it? Okay. This is the Hierophant and the 1111 card here. That's kind of a contract coming up for you. Are you ready to take it on? What seems lately, the Two of Pentacles is like what seems small is actually bigger than you think. So you may think like Two of Cups. Somebody's got to give up that life, right? The friend life. Somebody's got to give up the friend life. Because it's tumultuous out there, huh? How many boyfriends and how many girlfriends can you keep? This one says all 5 of them. You're not going to be able to keep all 5. You better choose the right one. And you know who they are. All right, Cancer. They know who they are, right? It's the baddest one of them all. It's the one that has left everyone else rightfully so, right? Like, you want to mess with somebody, you're gonna get shown the mess, okay? You're gonna get shown exactly what the mess you want. The mess is right here. I'm gonna put the mess in front of you. You put a lot of slow people to rest, Cancer. I love it. Look, this Scorpio King is like, I don't know. Do we all have that friendly Scorpio in our ways, right? Oh my. Hopefully for most of you, it's your boss that's like giving you a promotion, right? It sounds like it seems like there is. But first, it's this declaring your domain. We said Two of Wands, you're at the Three of Wands. Someone else has got to show you. If not, you're walking away. Scorpio. Cancer, if not, you're walking away from the Scorpio, possibly. We all are. Okay, we don't want that mess. Thank you very much, Cancer. Hit like, hit share. Bon voyage.